Hello, welcome to this new episode of the Alex Show TV. This episode is from November the 21st of the year 2025. Today is a Friday. Today we're going to have very interesting show. Very interesting show, the traps of the 4D. Why a very interesting show? Because the two gentlemen we're going to see in the support video, I actually had them for interviews, and they're one of the few guests that have appeared both on the show Alex.tv, my Spanish channel, and this one, the Alex Show TV, my international or English channel. Okay. And you may ask, do they speak English and Spanish? No, I took the original Spanish interview, and through the technology with agent, after becoming a paid member, I was able to dub to English the full interview, and you be the judge of the quality. But in my opinion, it's close to perfect. Okay, because it maintains even the pitch of the voice and that. Maybe my voice is a little bit strange. Doesn't seem a perfect resemblance. But the guests, the three chats I had with Herman from Argentina, with Luis Garre, which is going to be the gentleman on your left now in the support video, and with Patrick Vargas from Chile. The three have been ported here and they were available last month. Uh, Sorry about the cough. Still cannot be able to kind of kick it completely. And I don't know, sometimes when I speak about these topics, you think whatever comes to your mind. But it's very strange to speak about this topic, and it's like my throat is not allowing me to speak in a way. Um, but again, as always, I'm not gonna be confrontational. I'm not gonna be like that. I'm just gonna try to explain about the 4D, the astral plane, in my humble opinion. I know there are differences of opinion, like on all topics. So please, if you're gonna make a comment and say, no, you're wrong, the 4D is it's a beautiful plane and it's the midway between the 3D and the 5D. Yeah, it makes sense numerically. It's just a whole different thing, in my humble opinion. And the astral is not bad, it's just temporary. It's just a needed reality for this physical plane, like that. And it's similar astrals, all they are different, but similar astrals are available on other physical realities, by the way. Some claim that in the 5D, we're still having a body, so we need an astral, and it's the 6D. I don't know, it's a little bit mind, it makes your mind wander, okay? Um, but apparently, let's just agree for the sake of the show that the 4D is the astral. What happens on the astral? You're out there and you are in pure energetic form. You don't have physical body. You do have a body, but it's an energetic body, also called the astral body, also called the etherical body, also called the soul. So basically, you will ask, isn't the soul the spirit? The spirit is inside the soul. The soul is a body that embodies the spirit. And then that soul goes into your physical body, and it's like you have the three things all together: the soul, the spirit, and the physical body. Um, so the only difference is in the astral, you ditch the physical body. So I think you ditch it in two ways. There are people that can travel to the astral. It's I want to clarify, and that came to me a few months ago, that I haven't had this idea for very long. I always said that when you physically die, you go to the astral first, yes. And I always said, and you don't have your mind anymore because you left it back on your physical body. The thing is, the soul has the mind as well. The astral body has a mind. Is you still basically your mind. That's why the tricks of the 4D work on you. If that wasn't the case, then that's why I had such a hard time wrapping that up. Because I say, if we don't have the mind, how are they going to play the tricks if all the tricks work through the mind, through the memories, through the guilt, through the air quotes karma, which is not karma, through the eye to eye, through that you did it to someone, you need to come back to fix it, all of that stuff, through the presenting family members that have passed that they are not them, they're impersonators, through presenting religious figures which are not them, they're impersonators. All of those tricks of the 4D, they work because you are in the soul state. So in a way, understanding that, I think you can set up yourself by working at it with discipline in this life, and by trying to enjoy this life and being prepared for Erko's death, which is not death, it's only you lose the physical body and you go to the astral, and then you say, hey, this is a gateway station, this kind of a train station, an airport, or something like that. I see the astral this way. That's why disembodied beings that have lost the body, but they are there roaming the astral for many years. It could be hundreds or thousands of years. That's why you hear the stories. Oh, this place, there's a spirit, or sorry, not a spirit. There's a ghost that will appear, and he says, she says, that has been here for 1,000 years. It's probably it's roaming the astral, and the astral is so connected to this physical reality that when you have roamed the astral so much, and you usually end up in the lower astral, then in a way you develop tricks similar to the movie Ghost. Does that make sense? You remember the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore? On that movie, at the beginning, Patrick Swayze was a disembodied being in the astral, and he, by getting together with another disembodied being that had been there for a while, and remember how upset he was, that gentleman he met, I believe, in the subway, how belligerent and that, because when you end up in the astral for so long, you sour up, you lower, in a way, you start associating with other disembodied beings, and it becomes a mess. Okay, that's why I don't suggest it at all. And if you are in contact with some disembodied beings, suggest that they leave the astral. Even if it's through reincarnation, that's a much better option. Okay, I know reincarnation should never be suggested, but it's really bad for you that you end up so many years in the astral. You're not going to be there forever. These spirits, these beings are not, I'm sorry to keep calling them spirits, but this is not the right word. These souls is a better word. These souls are not going to be there forever. And, uh, and, but it's better they understand, like the gentleman in the movie, he was in the subway, is you're in a passing station. Okay. So, but as you stay more time in there, you start learning tricks, you start associating with other beings, and then who knows when you end up, and that's really a bad thing. So how do we are in the astral? Some can connect to the astral. People that I know have told me they see it as a very dark place, but not dark in the sense of darkness in demonic or diabolic or anything like that. No. They see it's just very dark apparently. Uh, so they don't enjoy doing that. But when you go to the astral, usually you can fix up some things that are not apparent on this physical world. So someone like Patrick Vargas, that he does what is called hyperdimensional regression, or also called remote viewing. Apparently, you go to the astral. He takes you to the astral. We all have the possibility to go to the astral because we all have souls. And then in that plane, you fix some things, and usually it's arrangements, it's contracts that they're not like legal contracts. It's a different kind of contract. Don't think it as a paper you sign or something like that. It's just more an arrangement you made with entities out there in the astral. Yes, I have to say it. Reptilians, insectoids, draconians, and many others. Okay, many others, included possibly disembodied beings, which is a different category in a way. Why did you make those? Why did you make these arrangements? That's what you discover on these remote viewings, these hyperdimensional dimensional regressions. Okay, that's the thing, and you fix it because you can break it. You can always break these arrangements. And the reason you should break these arrangements is because they were made in confusion. We're not victims. We made the arrangement. I want to clarify. We're not forced. These entities do not force you to the limiting beliefs, no, all of these things. They don't force you, but you're clearly, if you're just seeking help of someone like Patrick Vargas or similar, in a way, therapist or whatever you want to call it, it's because you have a clearer path in a way now, and understand that, hey, I just want to break this. It's like, accepting a job. I'm going to use this metaphor. I think it's a good one. It's like accepting a job, and then you're confused and you don't even know why you accepted, and you're not happy in that job. Do you have the right to quit? Yes. Is it bad? Is someone going to tell you, oh, you're a quitter, you quit your job? No. It's like you're figuring out you want something different. It's not a eternal arrangement, okay? And some of these things go into our family group, and a lot of things. It gets so complicated because you make what is called kind of alliances, or you pledge alliance to, for example, a family member. One example in my personal case is a few generations ago. Apparently, someone on my mother's side. I'm not going to go into details, but I'm talking 5, 6, 7 generations. So you're talking great grandmother or something like that. Had a rough time financially. And then in the astral, she came and said, I know why she picked me. If we maybe I was also someone different there or something like that, and say now you're gonna make an allegiance to me, or I ask you respectfully something like that to make an allegiance to me that you are also gonna have this problem. Okay, how does that help anyone? But possibly the ego of the being that is asking you to make this pledge. And similar pledges, and so a lot of the suffering, self-inflicted, are not victims, we see in this world comes from these pledges, these alliances we make in the astral with other beings, particularly family in the family group. That's why they reinsert us in the same family groups through reincarnation. So we get to know each other and then say, hey, you had a rough time. I'm gonna do it as well, in a way, just to see how it's to suffer like you. I laugh because I know I made those arrangements and I laugh now because that helps and no one. That helps no one. That's not evolution. That's not evolution of the spirit. We don't grow through suffering. Suffering only works in the astral and in the physical, okay? The spirit never suffers. And in higher realms, you never suffer, okay? And that doesn't mean you're out there with a Ferrari and that. There are no Ferraris, there are no Rolexes, there's no money, there's no stuff like that. You evolve into something else and understand that the sufferings and everything we go through in this reality has to do with this very involuted system, very regressive system that operates here. So I don't want to go very long. The 3-minute support video is excellent. By the way, if you're interested, I share the link to this interview of Luis with Patrick. I'm not including that one, of course. And excellent, by the way, it's like an hour and a half or something. It's in Spanish, of course. My suggestion is select the dubbing of YouTube to English. You don't speak Spanish, of course, or you want to use subtitles or anything like that. Select the dubbing and you're going to get it. You're going to understand it. It's not the perfect solution, but it's a solution. These 3 minutes is perfectly dubbed by the technology of Hagen. And also, if you're interested, I will be very happy you haven't seen it. I interviewed Luis Garrett, different topic, not this one. I interviewed Patrick Vargas, very aligned to what we're going to see. Let's watch it together.
So from other dimensions, we are multidimensional beings. We become aware of what's happening, of the manipulation that's taking place on the plane of the third dimension. And that's why forgiveness is asked for, or something that's happening is acknowledged. And then in consciousness, then in the third dimension, that's when all kinds of thoughts, behaviors, and actions are induced in us, right?
And that's their advantage. Since they are in the fourth dimension, a dimension higher than ours, they watch us, stalk us, pursue us, frighten us, and create chaos in different areas. And that's something very common. We are all victims. Regardless of belief, we are all victims. This is a holographic prison, a human farm, whatever we want to call it. And that's their big advantage. The second prison is our physical body, which obviously limits us through these senses. A biological body created by these entities to house a percentage of light, in which we must activate and connect with our essence. And that changes reality a lot because we start to create reality. But just as you say, we have to know our enemies. And nowadays in the new age, they can talk to us about peace and love, that false spirituality that without meaning to, we're spreading through the information that we're finding. But peace and love are not enough to understand what this game is about. We need to know that we are in a holographic prison, who our jailers are. Once we have that basic information, our perception of reality changes a lot, and it starts to shape realities that will create a different path for each person. But it's important to know who our jailers are. That's the key. And nowadays, many techniques, guides, gurus, and teachers that are emerging don't talk to you about these archontic entities, these millions of races that are behind this human farm.
That's where the problem is. That's what's complicated. To what extent do we have certainty with what? Because we're getting to know these kinds of tools that you use, hypnosis. But there will always be someone who says, "I just can't quite believe that. I can't quite believe what comes out of the person under hypnosis," and there will always be doubt. So, of course, certainty, the proof that we humans are always looking for, to have an entity like this in front of us and see it physically, that's what we'd like, right? But that's not going to happen. It's clear that's not going to happen.
Absolutely. In ancient times, these entities did show themselves, but they realized that humans are capable of self-destruction on their own, so now they only carry out certain specific manipulations, and each one continues under the Archontic project. However, nowadays we see people, and we saw this in a previous interview where I showed you the drawings made by these people these entities that appear in their rooms, at work, or in their everyday lives.
Okay, as I said, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So my suggestion is give it a try. As always, the link to this full interview of Luis Garvey interviewing Patrick Vargas. Luis Garvey has an excellent podcast. Also, Patrick Vargas has excellent content, but Luis Garvey has a podcast called Los Investigadores de la Verdad or the Truth Seekers, and he interviews in Spanish. I want to clarify. In Spanish, he has interviewed many, many people with excellent stuff. How did I get to know Patrick and Luis? Through the YouTube algorithm that presented me one of Luis's shows. I became a subscriber of his show, and then the rest is history. Yes, I want to clarify some of the few stuff we saw in the support video. When Patrick says we're victims, yeah, I agree. But, if you know me, we have to, that's step one. And step two is when we know the information, when we know all of this, that's when we stop being victims, okay? And also one of the things I say we're not victims maybe is because these arrangements, even if through confusion, even if through trickery, yes, as he says, they watch us, they're pushing us, they're pushing you in a way that really it's gonna make your mind blow. You wanna rationally try to understand who they are, what they are doing, what they're doing. That just don't go there, because they push us in a way, they make us be belligerent to others. They create family arguments when there are no arguments there. A lot of the stuff they create. So when we understand that, and I was so happy with someone recently, I having a chat, that she told me, I don't want to be upset anymore. I just want to be at peace. Yes, I said, yes, finally. Yes, you got it. They want you to do what you were been doing for years, which was being always upset, waking up upset, trying to be belligerent, trying to discredit others through knowledge. And that's when I said about the comments at the beginning. You're wrong. You're playing for them. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if you don't like the shows, don't subscribe, don't watch them. That's perfectly fine. Believe me, that upsets me zero. Even your comment upsets me zero. That's why I say thank you for your comment and thank you for watching. But then some get upset because I don't get to their level, okay, of trying. The fighting doesn't work. And that upsets many. They're in the program. If they're working for the program, if this pushing they're doing to you is working, see your reactions. Analyze your reactions, analyze your feelings, analyze what you feel, the way you feel about the world. And you're going to get it. They're pushing you, and you can break that. You can break that spell by behaving and reacting differently, because that's in you. That's on you. You're not a victim there in the reactions. The reactions are on you. Your intentions and your reactions are yours. I think we have made that point so many times. So I hope you enjoyed the show. It was such a great support video, in my opinion. And the 4D is such a hot topic, such an interesting topic, especially because it's the gateway, it's the process we have to go, it's the airport, the bus station, the train station, whatever way you want to see it, with a ticket outside this reality, okay? Yes, but we have to go through that, and that's an unfortunate part. I wish we would just die and get out of the system. No, nothing required. That would be beautiful, okay? But of course, that wouldn't work because we'll just get out of the system and this recycling wouldn't work. It's so hard for them to get divine sparks to come to this system. That's why the ones that are here, they want to recycle them. It's something like being invited to a show. When you go there and you don't like it, so they say, wait, I have a second show, just go there. And then I have a third show and a fourth show. And I know you are upset, you want to leave. No, just do this last show, okay? And they keep you 4, 5, 10, 100, 1,000 times. I do believe there are many humans right now on planet Earth that they have reincarnated into the system for more than 1,000 times. Yes. In my case, through a session of visualization and some other techniques, I was told I have reincarnated a total of 906 times. And for me, I'm preparing every day to leave the system. I'm not gonna make it. No, that will be arrogance to say I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna give them everything. I'm gonna be a hard customer, okay, in the astral. I'm gonna be a hard customer. I'm gonna give them everything I got. And that's my suggestion to you. If you really want to leave the system, it's not something just prepare 5 minutes before you die. Prepare every day for death, And it's not because you want to die. It's because you are actually want to live and enjoy this reality as long as you have it. And then when death happens, you are set up beautifully to try to leave this system, if that's your intention. If you still want to reincarnate and do different stuff, then this advice doesn't work for you. It's not for you. And there's nothing wrong with that, I want to clarify. But truly, you say, no, I want to do this 1,000 more times, then certainly you are the customer they're expecting, okay? Which doesn't say anything about you. There's nothing wrong. It's just, again, what you want. My suggestion is listen to your spirit, because the spirit is out there inside the soul is inside the body, and maybe you're listening to the soul and the body, which to leave the system will leave both behind, okay? And you become divine spark, you become pure spirit, and you go somewhere else. And that's a topic for a different show on where and what you can achieve or where you can go. Hope you enjoy the show. Take care. Have a great, thank you. Thank you for watching. Have a great Friday, great weekend. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover your true self. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and to serve others. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover your true self? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to the universe. Simply ask, who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about this reality start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering your true self equals to real freedom. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to understand this reality, but you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will set up a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, lust, envy, violence, justice through violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only your egoic mind and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very